What is up, everybody? Today is day 41 on our Bible in a Year plan. We are getting into the book of Numbers today. Numbers is about, it's more than just numbers. The book of Numbers gets its name from two census that happen. One is at the beginning, and one's kind of more towards the end. But it's following Israel still. We're continuing on the story there, but there's a lot of stuff in between. We have there is some more like rules, laws, things like that, like we saw in Leviticus, and the end of Genesis a little bit. But beyond that, we have excuse me, it's clearing my throat. We have a story of spies. We have the story of some rebellions against Moses. We have some a kind of interesting story with a bronze serpent getting lifted up in the desert on a cross, and it's interesting stuff. But yeah, there's a lot to it, and there's a lot of getting kind of back more to the fast pace that we saw in Exodus, a little bit in Genesis. It definitely shifts up from what we saw in Leviticus, but without any further ado, we'll just get right into it so you can see what I'm talking about. Um, okay, Numbers 1. The Lord spoke to Moses in the tent of meeting in the wilderness of Sinai on the first day of the second month of the second year after Israel's departure from the land of Egypt. Take a census of the entire Israelite community by their clans and their ancestral families, counting the names of every male one by one. You and Aaron are to register those who are 20 years old or more by their military divisions. Everyone who can serve in Israel's army. A man from each tribe is to be with you, each one of the head of his ancestral family. These are the names of the men. Now, this is going to be similar to kind of what we saw previously especially in Genesis. It's going to be a list of names outlining like who, like genealogy type stuff. So, not quite genealogy, but similar. So, keep in mind all this is in here for a reason. It's not something that we want to just skim over or skip past. We do want to take it, and it's here for a reason. God can speak to us with it. So, these are the names of the men who are to assist you: Eliezer, son of Shadir from Reuben; Shelumiel, son of Zurishadda from Simeon; Nahshon, son of Amminadab from Judah; Nathanael, Nathaniel, one of those, son of Zur from Issachar; Eliab, son of Hilion from Zebulun; from the sons of Joseph, Elishama, son of Amihud from Ephraim; Gamaliel, son of Pedazur from Manasseh. Man, some of these names. Abidan, son of Gideoni from Benjamin; Ahizir, son of Amishadai from Dan; Pagiel, son of Okron from Asher; Elisaph, son of Deuel from Gad; Ahira, son of Enan from Naphtali. These are the men called from the community. They are leaders of their ancestral tribes, the head of Israel's clans. So Moses and Aaron took these men who had been designated by name, and they assembled the whole community on the first day of the second month. They recorded their ancestry by their clans and their ancestral families, counting one by one the names of those 20 years old or more, just as the Lord commanded Moses. He registered them in the wilderness of Sinai. The descendants of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, according to their family records by their clans and their ancestral families, counting one by one the names of every male 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army. Those registered for the tribe of Reuben numbered 46,500. The descendants of Simeon, according to their family records by their clans and their ancestral families, those registered, counting one by one the names of every male 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army. Those registered for the tribe of Simeon numbered 59,300. The descendants of Gad, according to their family records by their clans and their ancestral families, counting the names of those 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army, those registered for the tribe of Gad numbered 45,650. The descendants of Judah, according to their family records by their clans and ancestral families, counting the names of those 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army, those registered for the tribe of Judah, numbered 74,600. The descendants of Issachar, according to their family records, by their clans and their ancestral families, counting the names of those 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army, those registered for the tribe of Issachar, numbered 54,400. The descendants of Zebulun, according to their family records, by their clans and their ancestral families, counting the names of those 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army, those registered for the tribe of Zebulun, numbered 57,400. The descendants of Joseph. The descendants of Ephraim, according to their family records by their clans and their ancestral families, counting the names of those 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army, those registered for the tribe of Ephraim, numbered 40,500. The descendants of Manasseh, according to their family records by their clans and their ancestral families, counting the names of those 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army, those registered for the tribe of Manasseh, numbered 32,200. The descendants of Benjamin, according to their family records by their clans and their ancestral families, counting the names of those 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army, those registered for the tribe of Benjamin, numbered 35,400. The descendants of Dan, according to their family records by their clans and their ancestral families, counting the names of those 20-year-olds or more, everyone who could serve in the army, those registered for the tribe of Dan, numbered 62,700. The descendants of Asher, according to their family records by their clans and their ancestral families, counting the names of those 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army, those registered to the tribe of Asher, numbered 41,500. The descendants of Naphtali, according to their family records, by their clans and their ancestral families, counting the names of those 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in the army, those registered for the tribe of Naphtali, numbered 53,400. These are the men Moses and Aaron registered. With the assistance of the 12 leaders of Israel, each represented his ancestral family. So all the Israelites 20 years old or more, everyone who could serve in Israel's army, were registered by their ancestral families. All those registered numbered 603,550. So, that is a lot of people. Imagine, and this is a group wandering through the desert, right? This isn't a city. This isn't a stationary group where they're building up and they are still wandering through the desert at this point. And this 603,000 is only those male 20 years old or older that are able to serve in the military. So I think it is a very safe estimate that they're well over 1 million wandering through the desert. That's crazy to think about. Okay. But the Levites were not registered with them by their ancestral tribe. For the Lord had told Moses, do not register or take a census of the tribe of Levi with the other Israelites. Appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of the testimony, all its furnishings and everything in it. They are to transport the tabernacle and all its articles, take care of it, and camp around it. Whenever the tabernacle is to move, the Levites are to take it down, and whenever it is to stop at a campsite, the Levites are to set it up. Any unauthorized person who comes near it is to be put to death. The Israelites are to camp by their military divisions, each man with his encampment and under his banner. The Levites are to camp around the tabernacle of the testimony and watch over it so that no wrath will fall on the Israelite community. The Israelites did everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So, again, we see the seriousness of people approaching the anyone coming near the tabernacle that's not supposed to be, or that is not a Levite. The seriousness of that. We see it there. Okay, Numbers 2. And I think part of what we see here too is they are getting ready to go in and kind of start taking some land. They're getting ready to actually use their military as a military, right? God has told them that He's going to give them the land, but there are still some instances where they have to go in and they have to take it. So, number 2, Numbers 2. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron. The Israelites are to camp under their respective banners beside the flags of their ancestral families. They are to camp around the tent of meeting at a distance from it. Judah's military divisions will camp on the east side down toward the sunrise under their banner. The leader of the descendants of Judah is Nahashon, son of Aminadab. His military division numbers 74,600. The tribe of Issachar will camp next to it. The leader of the Issacharites is Nathaniel. Nathaniel, is that? Nathaniel. I feel weird saying Nathaniel because I don't feel like that's it. Son of Zur. His military division numbers 54,400. The tribe of Zebulun will be next. The leader of the Zebulunites is Eliab, son of Helion. His military division numbers 57,400. The total number in their military divisions who belong to Judah's encampment is 186,400. They will move out first. Reuben's military divisions will camp on the south side under their banner. The leader of the Reubenites is Eliezer, son of Shedir. His military division numbers 46,500. The tribe of Simeon will camp next to it. The leader of the Simeonites is Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai. His military division numbers 59,300. The tribe of Gad will be next. The leaders of the Gadites is Eliasaph, son of Deuel. His military division numbers 45,650. The total number of their military divisions who belong to Reuben's encampment is 151,450. They will move out second. The tent of meeting is to move out with the Levites' camp, which is in the middle of the camps. They are to move out just as they camp, each in his place with their banners. Ephraim's military divisions will camp on the west side under their banner. The leader of the Ephraimites is Elishama, son of Ammihud. His military division numbers 40,500. The tribe of Manasseh will be next to it. The leader of the Massonites is Gamaliel, son of Peduzar. I'm butchering all of these names, I'm positive. His military division numbers 32,200. The tribe of Benjamin will be next. The leader of the Benjamites is Abidan, son of Gideoni. His military division numbers 35,400. The total in their military divisions who belong to Ephraim's encampment number 108,100. They will move out third. Dan's military divisions will camp on the north side under their banner. The leader of the Danites is Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. His military division numbers 62,700. The tribe of Asher will camp next to it. The leader of the Asherites is Pagiel, son of Okran. His military division numbers 41,500. The tribe of Naphtali will be next. The leader of the Naphtalites is Ahira, son of Enan. His military division numbers 53,400. The total number who belong to Dan's encampment is 157,600. They are to move out last with their banners. These are the Israelites registered by their ancestral families. The total number and the camps by their military divisions is 603,550. But the Levites were not registered among the Israelites, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The Israelites did everything the Lord commanded Moses. They camped by their banners in this way and moved out the same way, each man by his clan and by his ancestral family. Okay. Not Leviticus. Numbers 3. Um, these are the family records of Aaron and Moses at the time the Lord spoke with Moses on Mount Sinai. These are the names of Aaron's sons: Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of Aaron's sons, the anointed priests who were ordained to serve as priests, but Nadab and Abihu died in the Lord's presence when they presented unauthorized fire. You'll remember that from Leviticus. Remember the Israelites were told that they could mourn, but Aaron and his sons were told not to mourn, right? Okay. Before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai, and they had no sons, so Eleazar and Ithamar served as priests under the direction of Aaron their father. The Lord spoke to Moses, bring the tribe of Levi near and present them to the priest Aaron to assist him. They are to perform duties for him and the entire community before the tent of meeting by attending to the service of the tabernacle. They are to take care of all the furnishings of the tent of meeting and perform their duties for the Israelites by attending to the service of the tabernacle. Assign the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They have been assigned exclusively to him from the Israelites. You are to appoint Aaron and his sons to carry out their priestly responsibilities by any unauthorized I don't know why I read that as by. But any unauthorized person who comes near the sanctuary is to be put to death. The Lord spoke to Moses, "See, I have taken the Levites from the Israelites in place of every firstborn Israelite from the womb. The Levites belong to me, because every firstborn belongs to me. At the time I struck down every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated every firstborn in Israel to myself, both man and animal. They are mine. I am the Lord." Verse 14. The Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. Register the Levites by their ancestral families and their clans. You are to register every male 1 month old or more. So Moses registered them in obedience to the Lord as he had been commanded. So you'll see there's a little bit of a difference here. First difference, Moses is numbering them versus picking someone from that specific tribe to number them. So it's Moses. Also with the Levites, they're not numbering everyone who is military age, right? They're not just doing the males that are 20 and up. They're doing every male who is 1 month old or more. Okay? So there are some differences here because these are the ones that God had handpicked to be his representatives. So these were Levi's sons by name: Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. These were the names of Gershon's sons by their clans: Libni and Shimi. Kohath's sons by their clans were Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. Merari's sons by their clans were Mali and Mushi. Sounds weird. These are the Levite clans by their ancestral families. My daughter is really into Mulan, and so Mushi just sounded like Mushu. Okay. The Libnite clan and the Shimeite clan came from Gershon. These were the Gershonite clans. Those registered, counting every male 1 month old or more, numbered 7,500. The Gershonite clans camped behind the tabernacle on the west side. And the leader of the Gershonite families was Eliasaph, son of Lael. The Gershonite duties at the tent of meeting involved the tabernacle, the tent, its covering, the screen for the entrance of the tent of meeting, the hangings of the courtyard, the screen for the entrance to the courtyard that surrounds the tabernacle, and the altar, and the tent ropes, all the work relating to these. The Amramite clan, the Israelite clan, the Hebronite clan, the Uzzielite clan came from Kohath. These were the Kohathites, counting every male 1 month old or more. There were 8,600 responsible for the duties of the sanctuary. The clans of the Kohathites camped on the south side of the tabernacle, And the leader of the families of the Kohathite clans were Elizaphan, son of Uzziel. Their duties involved the ark, the table, the lampstand, the altars, the sanctuary utensils that were used with these, and the screen, and all the work relating to them. The chief of the Levite leaders was Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest. He had oversight of those responsible for the duties of the sanctuary. The Malite clan and the Mushite clan came from Merari. These were the Merarite clans. Those registered, counting every male 1 month old or more, numbered 6,200. The leader of the families of the Merarite clans was Zeriel, son of Abihail. They camped on the north side of the tabernacle. The assigned duties of Merari's descendants involved the tabernacle's support, crossbars, pillars, bases, all its equipment, and all the work related to these, in addition to the posts of the surrounding courtyard with their bases, tent pegs, and ropes. Sorry, I keep muting because I'm still coughing pretty bad. I am feeling much better, but this cough is not kicking it. Moses, Aaron, and his sons who performed the duties of the sanctuary as a service on behalf of the Israelites camped in front of the tabernacle on the east, in front of the tent of meeting toward the sunrise, and the unauthorized person who came near it was to be put to death. The total number of all the Levite males 1 month old or more that Moses and Aaron registered by their clans at the Lord's command was 22,000. Verse. Okay, before we go on, notice there is a plan for them to be on the move, not to be stationary. And to make this even better, to facilitate this better, I think we do see this with what we saw previously with the clans and how they were broken down into like military divisions, and that's how they camped. That's how they lived, like set up everything. When they would move, they would move together. We saw what they would say, like they moved first, and then they moved second and last, and all that. Then we get to the Levites, and where they set up around the tabernacle in a specific order, and then based on what clan they're in, they have different responsibilities for setting up and tearing down the tabernacle. It seems very simplistic, but being someone like I've managed people before, right? And so having knowledge of that, just managing people in general, having this already laid out is going to make this so much easier of a process. It's going to be so much easier for everyone in this process to make sure that things are done right. They're done in the process that they're supposed to, the right order that they're supposed to. Everything's taken care of like it's supposed to. People aren't going, like, you won't have an unauthorized person going in a place they're not supposed to or touching something they're not supposed to. It makes it much, much, much easier. And I mean, we shouldn't be surprised that God has given this to them. Verse 40. The Lord told Moses, register every firstborn male to the Israelites, 1 month old or more, and list their names. You are to take the Levites for me. I am the Lord. In place of every firstborn among the Israelites and the Levites' cattle, in place of every firstborn among the Israelites' cattle. So Moses registered every firstborn among the Israelites as the Lord commanded him. The total number of firstborn males 1 month old or more listed by name was 22,273. The Lord spoke to Moses again, take the Levites in place of every firstborn among the Israelites, and the Levites' cattle in place of their cattle. The Levites belong to me. I am the Lord. As the redemption price for the 273 firstborn Israelites who outnumbered the Levites, collect 5 shekels for each person according to the standard sanctuary shekel, 20 gerahs to the shekel. Give the silver to Aaron and his sons as the redemption price for those who are in excess among the Israelites. So Moses collected the redemption amount from those in excess of the ones redeemed by the Levites. He collected the silver from the firstborn Israelites 1,365 shekels, measured by the standard sanctuary shekel. He gave the redemption silver to Aaron and his sons in obedience to the Lord, just as the Lord commanded Moses. Okay, that is it for the reading. Yeah. So, again, there's purpose behind this. We're seeing God is kind of setting them up in order to be more ready to go in as a military, to actually like take action, like uh, war type action. He's also setting it up in order to be able to move the tabernacle, I think, effectively, efficiently, and quickly. So there's a couple purposes behind this. But let's jump into our first question. What insights can we gain from the census in Numbers 1 about the value of each individual in God's community? Um, I think we do start to see kind of a maybe a little bit more separation of the male and female, as far as like standard roles. They are sending, they're getting their men ready for battle. I think that is one thing that we see here, and I think that is a good thing that there is that distinction there. I think we do see that. I was getting ready to say something, and I just completely lost it. I don't know. We'll see if it comes back to me. Question 2. How do the roles assigned to the Levites in Numbers 3 inform our understanding of service and leadership within the church today? So, like I talked about, it is broken down intentionally so that there's not just this huge group of people over this huge task. It is broken down into different groups, and different groups have different focuses and things like that. I think it is definitely something that you can take and look at your church now. I think a good thing that we see with churches is typically they have, at least churches I've been to, they'll have like a deacon board or a board of elders or something like that. Well, your board has different areas of focus. So they come together, and together with the senior pastor, they are leading the church. But there may be an elder who is over like media and like worship, like the Sunday morning service, the media, the worship, and it's like people playing instruments, praise teams, stuff like that. There also may be an elder who is over like outreach type stuff. So that could be planning stuff out in the community. It could also be when like setting up like door greeters and ushers and things like that. There could be one that is over like groundskeeping, like making sure that the lawn is mowed and stuff like that, and things are kept up. And if something outside breaks or gets damaged or needs replaced, or just new stuff coming in, so kind of a division of labor like this makes you much more effective. I think we see that in our world today, and it just makes sense that God would outline that here for the Israelites. Question 3. In what ways can we apply the principles of order and responsibility found in these chapters to our own lives and communities? Again, like what I was saying on the last question, I think that there is something about the division of labor that is beneficial. It's not one person having all their focus on everything. You can have multiple people. You see in Ecclesiastes, actually, it talks about the cord of three strands. You see this a lot, especially recently. It seems like it's picked up more. But and weddings, the cord of three strands is not easily broken. It talks about how one person can be overcome easily. 2, you get a double return for your work, but a cord of three strands is not easily broken. So this idea that you can do more if you have more people together working together. That concept is tying in God, but um, in the context of the wedding, they're talking about a cord of three strands is tying in God with the husband and the wife. But I think this is a principle that we can take even outside of that and get some practical application for. So that is it for that is it for today. Um, yeah, I don't remember what the other point I was going to make on the first question. I went back and looked at it each time, and I once I get done recording, it'll pop in my head. Um, or we'll be sitting tonight watching TV or playing a game or something, and it'll pop in my head. But yeah, so appreciate everyone watching, listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. If this has been a blessing to you, share it with other people. Let other people know about it. Word of mouth is the best way that podcasts spread, and we want to spread. We want to help people stick with reading their Bible. We want to help people get in and know the Bible. We want to spread the gospel as far as we can by any possible way. Spread the actual gospel. So yeah, we just started numbers. Tomorrow we're going to get some more numbers, and it'll be good. We will see you then. In the meantime, God bless.